So in this video, we're going to show you how to make Nova Scotia blueberry butter. Now with Nova Scotia blueberry butter, you need about, I'd say probably about, you need a purified blueberry, and they take up less room, so you need 8 cups of that. So I'm going to put mine in the blender and actually liquefy them. Now I would say you need probably about 20 cups of blueberries to actually make 8 cups of pureed. So I've already taken the steps of making pureed. Here's some right here, and as you can see, the blueberries are pretty well a liquid, and that's 4 cups right there. Now I called for another 4 more cups, so I'm going to make 4 more cups of it. So I already have these measured up. This is 10 more cups of blueberries, and of course they're not all going to fit in there at once because blueberries take up a lot more room when they're in the ball shape than they do in the liquid shape. So I'm going to have to do these ones and then add the other ones to them. And how I'm going to do that is my blender right here. I'm going to show you. And I'm going to put it on, and I have a liquefy setting, and I have to press down. Because there's more room. I'm just going to take the top off. Now I do have a hole on the top that I can take it and put stuff in with a funnel, but since I'm putting the rest of them in, it doesn't really matter. That is really pretty though. Different way it looks. So you need 8 cups of pureed and a slow cooker that fits about 7 quarts or 4 quarts. Mine is 7 quarts, so that's how many mine fit in there. And it's never good to run your blender longer than 2 minutes at a time. Now, you're wondering why I'm probably doing with blueberries, because as I do my garden show, and I like showing preserves and stuff and things you can grow in the garden for a low cost. This is another way to have like blueberries all year round, and since I live in a place where they grow widely all over the island, it's easy for me to access them, and you can only access them certain times of the year. So once you can access them, why not use them, right? Definitely make a yummy treat all year long. So I'm going to finish liquefying this. So that should be good. We're going to take it off there, and we're going to put it in the slow cooker. And when you're going to cover it up, and you're going to let it cook for about an hour, and then in an hour's time I'm going to come and check on it, and I'll record that then. And as you can see, it's pretty liquefied. So now we have our 8 cups that the recipe just required, which fills about halfway of my crock pot. I still have plenty of room in there. And this is perfect thing to get all the last bits out. Little spatula to scrape the sides, might as well not waste any. So this is going to take about 4 or 8 hours depending on how hot your slow cooker actually gets. So I'm going to cover it up. So now it's nice and covered. And I'm just going to let that cook for an hour. And then, since it does take a long process, I'm going to fast forward to the next part, and you'll see that. In an hour's time, what will happen is I'll just stir it around and uncover it. Like you'll prop up your cover with either a spoon or something that will keep it open to let the evaporation get out of there. So, so this is the second part of our blueberry butter, and it's been cooking for an hour on low temperature, and this is what it looks like at this point. It's still very liquidy, and we're going to stir it up to make sure it doesn't stick or scorch, because we don't want it to scorch. And now at this point we're going to put the cover back on, but we're going to prop it up. And what I'm going to prop it up with is going to be probably this, my little spatula. And just prop it up like that, and that'll let some of the moisture get out. See how it's propped up? I'll show you that. Just enough for the lid to let the moisture get out. So I'm going to let that cook for a couple more hours, and then I'll fast forward again and show you. So in here is the lemon juice and the skin of the lemon, and we're going to get that ready to be able to have it. There. Now it's ready to go into the blueberry butter. Now you want to have it like that. That way you can strain it out. So after it's been cooking for, I would say give or take probably about 6-7 hours, because it says 4 to 8. So now what I'm going to do is put the spices in, and what they are the lemon zest and the juice, the 2 cups of sugar that you're going to need, the ½ tablespoon of nutmeg, and 2 tablespoons of ground sugar, or ground cinnamon. We're going to put that in there now. We'll start off by the cinnamon. 1, 2, and then we're going to do the ½ tablespoon of nutmeg, and the 2 cups of sugar, and the lemon zest and its juices. So now that that's in there, I'm going to mix it up. Definitely looks kind of good. Yeah, I did sterilize the bottles, so it smells really delightful. So now that I've mixed that up, I'm going to put the cover back on, and I'm going to let it go for an hour, and I'll fast forward an hour. When you're canning, it's a good idea to take your jars before you use them and prepare them by boiling them to get any kind of germs or bacteria off them. And this is a great way to do it with the rack that comes in my pot. And I'll just lift it off and we'll put it somewhere for it to cool. And then the jars stay sterilized, as well as the covers as well. So now we have them on the cooling rack, and we're just waiting for them to pop to seal themselves, because we want them to be able to seal themselves. Might take a little while because they need to cool down. There they go. Well, there goes one anyway. Just sounds like a little ting.
You get the idea, that little ting sounds them actually sealing.
So this recipe calls for me to actually put some pith lemon in and the juice as well. So now the pith is the outside skin where the little cells are, and they contain some great oils and stuff. So there's a couple of ways to do it. You can cut it off with a sharp knife like that, and then you flip it over. And you don't want any of this white stuff because the white stuff is pretty sour. So you just take your little knife and you can scrape it off so it's not on there. And then you can cut it up to the desired size that you want it to. Now, that's one way. Now another way to do it is you can use this and you can peel it off. That. And as you can see, there's barely any white stuff on the bottom of it. So this might actually be one of my favorite ways to do it. Or you can actually take this and use your cheese grater and take it off that way. But if you do it that way, I find you actually lose some of your oils and stuff. So I'm going to fast forward and I'll be back once it's done. So now we're ready to take the blueberry butter and we're ready to can it. And what I've got here is some sterilized jars and a funnel, because a funnel makes everything so much easier. Now you need 1/4 head space at the top of the container for it. And then once we have the jars ready, I'll put the lids on and we can go and can that. Now I have a tool that does that. You can just grab a little magnet piece, wipe the lid, make sure that's nice and clean because you don't want anything on the lid. Drop that there. So there's one ready. Let's see how many this will make. I think it makes about 5. We'll see. Pretty hot. You want to take it right out of the slow cooker, just like that. So I'm going to fast forward until I have the jars all ready, and then I'm going to put them in the water bath, and we'll see then.